relationships, and how to share your emotions so that both of you feel seen and heard. Let's fucking do it. So before we get into this, I'm going to give you the how-to, the step-by-step, the actual friggin' recipe, and the script on how to do this. But before we go into that, I want to explain why it's important. So through the work that I've been doing over the last probably 12 months with couples and relationship coaching, I have witnessed so many, mainly men and women, but it's really beautiful when I see the man actually crack open because he finally feels heard. I've also experienced this in my own personal relationship with Dan. When at the start of our relationship, when we first moved in together, he's like, I just don't feel heard. And at the point, back then, I was like, holy fuck, I'm hearing you. What are you talking about? Like, I hear you. I just don't agree with you. Like, do I have to agree with you? No. I hear you. I heard what you said. Let's find another way to do it, shall we? So sometimes in relationships, you'll have a conflict that just goes round and round and round. It'll be the same theme that hasn't been resolved because the communication style has not been there for the two parties to feel seen and heard. It will continue to go round and round and round until both parties feel totally seen and heard in what they're feeling. So this script that I'm going to run you through, I give this to my clients, not just my relationship coaching clients, but even my individuals, my one-on-ones that are also in relationships. And when I say relationships, just so you know, I'm referring to relationship with your children, relationship with your boss, relationship with your neighbor, your mum, your friends. It works beautifully in an intimate relationship, and you can use this anywhere. So this is absolutely a step of vulnerability. When I first learnt this, I was like, holy shit, this feels stretchy. And I'd been in personal development for about 5 years by the time I'd learnt this. And this was a whole new level, after 5 years of deep diving into myself, a whole new level of depth and vulnerability in communication. So I'm really excited to share it all with you. What can happen when people feel seen and heard, that issue that keeps revolving round and round and round and coming back around, different words, different scenario, but the same initial problem at the root of it all, that actually goes away when both parties feel seen and heard in what they're bringing up. So for people to feel seen and heard, you need to be able to be an active listener. You need to be able to refrain from justifying why you did what you did. That's a big one we're going to talk about. You need to be able to refrain from piggybacking, this is what I call it, piggybacking on their problems. So that would be when your partner brings you something and they're like, hey, what's with this? I don't like how you did this, or this made me feel like this, or whatever language they're using. And then you go, yeah, but you did the exact same thing last week. And then you start talking about all the things that you have a problem with. The person that originally brought that problem to the table now is like, cool. So I have a problem that I brought to you, and now we're sitting here talking about your problems. I don't feel seen and heard at all. So can you see the value in the other person feeling seen and heard? It's really not that hard once you know how. It's actually extremely simple. And once you've helped your partner feel seen and heard, there is space for you to then come in and be like, hey, are you open to how that was for me, or where my mindset was at the time, or where my emotions were at the time? Maybe they'll have space to hear that, and maybe it's a little bit tender and now's not the time for you to bring in your reasons why and your justification. Sometimes you won't get that opportunity until later. So let's go through this script. So first thing is really important is to set the scene, to set the space, make sure that everyone's feeling regulated and safe in their emotions, in their body, they're not stressed out. So for example, if your partner has just come home from work, it's a Friday afternoon, he's had an absolute shit week, he's exhausted, all the things that could have gone wrong have gone wrong. He hasn't been able to get to the gym to work out his mindset. He's not feeling good about himself. Babe, I'm here to tell you, that ain't the time for you to bring up your problems, can I just tell you? So you have to get really good at holding. Hold. You have to have a really beautiful sacred space ready to have these kind of conversations. This is absolutely never, ever, ever, not on your Nelly, do you just roll this out as if it's not a big deal. If you want to be seen and heard in whatever the problem is that you want to bring to your partner, make sure that you are checking in with them, that they're in a good place to be able to hear you right now. Have they got emotional capacity? Have they got mental capacity, physical capacity? Or are they at capacity? They're just spent. Would this conversation be better to be had tomorrow morning, on a Saturday morning, when no one has to go to work? There's a slow morning, you get to go make a coffee and bring it down to bed and be like, hey babe, there's something I'd like to talk to you about. Can you see how that setting is just so much more relaxed and you're going to get a much better version of your partner to be able to have this hard conversation with? So you set the scene and you say to your partner, you sort of judge and gauge them, be like, right, they seem like they're in a good place. Let me check in with them. Hey, babe, I've got something that I want to talk about that's coming up about us. And I'm wondering if you have space to talk about that right now. So when I say space, both of you need to recognize this is the point where you have to be extremely honest. If you are at capacity, don't you dare say yes to having this conversation just because you can't handle not knowing what it's about and like, I don't want to have this drag out to my weekend. Never, ever have these sort of conversations when you're at capacity. So you ask your partner, hey, babe, I've got something coming up for us that I'd love to talk about. I'm wondering if you've got space for that right now. And they will be learning to be very honest with themselves and check in and go, yeah, I do. I'm feeling really great right now. Let's have a chat. Do you want me to stop what I'm doing right now and we sit down? Yes, that'd be great. Or maybe they'll say, fucking not right now, babe. I'm just absolutely spent. I just need like 15 minutes to just like have a shower, have something to eat and just like sit on the couch and then can we chat? Yep, no worries. So I'll come back in 15 minutes. All right, thank you. Cool. Now, you're going to notice as we go along in this training that there is absolutely this type of conversation, this type of communication takes a long time. So if you're someone out there that's like, oh my God, these people are still talking about their emotions. If you're the one in the relationship that doesn't have as many emotional needs as the other person, you get to learn to hold space. You get to learn to love your person the way that they are. And if they've got big emotions and they take a long time to express them, then that's okay. This is why it's important to check in that you have the capacity to hold that right now. And I say this because this was Dan and I when we first started dating. I was the one that was like, come on, let's go. What the fuck's the problem? Move on. Come on, quick, quick, quick. What are you trying to say? I'm busy. I'm really fucking busy. I've got a coaching call in 10 minutes. I've got clients I've got to get back to. I've got this thing I've got to create. I've got like team members over here. And he's like, hey, can we have a chat? I've got something coming up for me. And it would be the smallest thing to me. And I'm like, oh my God, does this really warrant a 20-minute freaking conversation? Yes, it does, is what I learned. Because when you do not have these type of conversations, what ends up happening is that little piece of resentment grows. And it might be something as simple as, babe, it's really fucking annoying me that you don't hang your towel up. Like every morning I go into the bathroom and there's a wet towel on the floor and I hang it up for you every day. I don't mind doing it, but like if you could just hang it up, that'd be really great. Maybe your partner doesn't put the toilet seat down. It might be so freaking simple. It's all those little things that build resentment. So being able to be vulnerable enough, to be forward enough, to feel safe enough in your relationship to have these conversations. And a lot of the times that safety hasn't been created because the scene hasn't been set. And in previous times when you've brought things up, your partner has not seen or heard you. So you feel like, why the fuck would I even bother? He doesn't even fucking care. And we do this thing in our brain. When someone does something that hurts us or upsets us or isn't to our standard, we go, yeah, but that means, and a woman will usually make it mean, that means he doesn't love me. That means he doesn't care. It's nearly always never that he doesn't love you or he doesn't care. It's nearly always that you didn't set the scene to have that sort of conversation with him really well, to set yourself up for success, to be seen and heard in that. So this is it's a two-party game, people. So if you're watching this and you're like, oh my God, this is what's happening in my relationship, I really need this. I really encourage you to learn this for yourself, follow through with this video, watch this training all the way through. And then if your partner's open to it, get them to listen to it as well. Or maybe you could just download it to them, what you've learned and what you'd like to practice. So take notes on how to do this. Step 1, set the scene. Step 2, ask your partner, have you got space? There's something coming up for me right now that I'd like to talk about with us. Okay, step 1, step 2 covered. So then your partner says, yep, I'm here. Let me put this down. I'll put my phone down. I'm completely present and here with you. Now, side tip, if you are about to have a conversation with a man, be very sure that you are his one and only point of focus. Men can do one thing at a time. Women are amazing. We have what we like to call foveal vision or foveal focus. We get to have a really wide range of focus. We can have 100 tabs open in our brain at any given moment. The sock under the table that we know we have to get on our hands and knees and get the broom and get it out. That is a tab. The car needing service, that's a tab. The dinner that's got to be cooked, or I don't have the sour cream for the dinner, they're all tabs. The kids have got this permission slip that needs to go back. There's a birthday party on the weekend. Oh God, I've got to reply to that message. Oh fuck, I didn't do that email at work. All open tabs, and women have them running all the time. When I say 100, I'm being very lenient. If you're talking with a man, I can promise you he has one. So if he's watching TV, that's his one point of focus. He has a singular focus. If he's scrolling on his phone, that's his point of focus. Whatever you're saying, not it. Not his point of focus. Ask to be his one singular point of focus right now. Okay? Great. So you're going to sit down and have this conversation. The first thing that you're going to do, if you're the person bringing up the emotion or the thing that's happening for you, the first thing that you're going to do to be kind and gracious to your partner is reassure them that everything's okay and that you love them. Because by this point, they're probably freaking out. They might be like, what the fuck have I done? What's wrong? Oh my God, they're upset again. God, what's this about? Just tell me what's going on. Reassure them, everything is great. I love you. And I'm having this conversation because of how much I love you. And because I want our relationship to be really great. Because I want to refrain from sweeping even the little things under that carpet, under that mountain of resentment. I love you and this is why I'm doing this. Okay, great, cool, reassurance. And then you get to say to them, okay, this is what's happening for me. Before you start to talk, I want you to check in with your own body language. So loosen up a little bit. Take a breath if you need to. You need to be regulated as well. Sometimes when you bring these things up to your partner, you might be activated as fuck. You might be mad, pissed off, angry, volatile. Woo! We are never coming at this kind of conversation like that. Regulate yourself, girlfriend or brother. Regulate yourself so that this conversation starts in a really beautiful playground of regulated emotions. So if you don't know how to regulate yourself, I'm going to give you really quick hot tips. Touch some grass. Get your shoes off, go outside, get sunshine on you, ground yourself, breath. Simplest breath ever for regulating your emotions is in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay? Very, very simple. Everyone can do that. You don't need to be a breathwork facilitator to work out that taking a breath is actually really good for the stress levels. Drop your shoulders. Breathe that breath into your body. Relax. Notice any tension that you're holding. Body language is like over half of what people will perceive in the communication that you're giving them. Your body language and your tone. Very important to keep those in check. The words that you're choosing to use, excuse me, the words that you're choosing to use equal 7% of what the other person will be perceiving in that communication. So for those of you sitting there going, oh, I don't know what to say and I'm not good with words and I just like go blank. Who gives a fuck? It's only 7%. No one actually really cares what you're saying. It's your body language. It's your tone that matters the most. Okay, remember that. So you're going to come at this situation, you're going to be like, hey, yep, so this is what's coming up for me. And you're going to be in a regulated space. You're going to have, a soft body language. You're going to have a softer tone as well. When you bring up what's happening for you, you get to speak from your own experience. So it is I language. It is never, you did this to me. You made me feel like this. No. I just want to tell you, nobody can make you feel anything. You do that all by yourself. You chose to feel hurt when their actions were this. You chose to feel disappointed. You chose to feel angry. I'm not saying it's not valid. Probably is very fucking valid. But you still chose it. And you can choose something different. So own your own emotions. Nobody else's fault how you're feeling. So the language of that would sound like, hey, yesterday when you said you were going to mow the lawn and you didn't, and then I had to do it while you were at work, I chose to feel really disappointed about that. I chose to feel really angry about that. And I made that mean that you don't care about us. I made that mean that you don't love me. Whatever the story is that you've made up that goes along with it. So this takes a pretty self-aware kind of person. You're going to have to tune into your own internal dialogue and go, what am I saying about this? Oh, he's such an asshole. He doesn't even care. He's so fucking lazy. Whatever you've made up the story, share that with them. In I language. I am choosing to feel disappointed. I'm choosing to feel angry. And I made that mean that you don't care and that you're lazy. That is complete 100% ownership of how you're feeling and what you've made it mean. The stories that you've been running. And one thing I know about story, I am an amazing storyteller. And I have been doing it since I was a little girl. The stories of, and I believe my stories, like they are. When I first started in personal development, my coach was like, Shauna, stop with the stories. And I'm like, babe, they're not stories. It's very real. Like, he really did this. Like, how else am I meant to see it? That's totally how it's meant to be. Like, God, what am I meant to think? It's all just stories. Take ownership of them, babe. It's time to start recognizing where you've made something mean something else. Because there's a choice there. You can make it mean, okay, he's really busy. That's why he didn't mow the lawn. You could make it mean he's feeling overwhelmed right now. Make it mean he's in his head about work. I know he's got that thing going on at work that's stressing him out. Plenty of other things that you can make it mean. Take responsibility for the story that you've created around it. Okay, so you've expressed yourself. You've used I language. There's no blame. There's no shame. There's no, you did this and now you're a fuckhead. No blame, no shame, taking complete ownership with I language. Now, if you're the listener, you get to be like, okay, I'm listening. I'm here with you. I can see that this is big for you. Now, it may not be a very big deal to you. You might be in your head going, what the actual fuck is going on right now? Why is this even a problem? What's going to come out your mouth and what's going to be written all over your face is, I'm here with you. I see you. I see that this is a big deal for you. It's not you taking ownership. It's not you saying, oh, I'm sorry, I fucked up, if you don't believe that you did. This is a complete scenario where you get to go, I see you and what you're feeling right now, and it's very real for you. This is the whole part of the other party feeling seen and heard in what they're going through. It's really important for you to find a way to navigate through this where you don't actually have to own up to something that you don't believe that you did, because there's nothing worse than saying sorry for something that you didn't fucking do. But if your actions have caused someone to feel some kind of way, and that person is the one that you decide to live your life with and you love them deeply more than anything, wouldn't you want them to feel better? Wouldn't you want to be a part of their journey of lifting that and coming back to love with you? Of course you would. So do whatever you have to without owning up to things that you didn't actually do. So it's language like, I can see that this is big for you. I can see how that would have hurt your feelings, even though that was not your intention. So you're not saying, I can see that I've hurt you, or I can see that this is all my fault, because I'm sure that you didn't mean to actually hurt them at the time. Hopefully you're not one of these people that's walking around just being an outright asshole for no reason and consciously aware of it. I'm sure that you weren't even aware of how much it may have hurt the other person. You wouldn't have done it otherwise. So you get to acknowledge that this is big for them. You see them, I hear you, and then you're going to repeat everything back that they said. So it's going to go like this. Take notes, people. So what I'm hearing is, and you will repeat word for word, no paraphrasing, no glazing over, no adding your own words in, because they won't feel seen and heard then. They're going to think, well, he just fucking made it up in his own head. That's not what I said at all. But if you've been active listening, you will remember the cue or key words that they've been talking about, and you'll be able to share that back with them. So what I'm hearing is, yesterday when I said I'd mow the lawn and I didn't, it's really upset you. You feel, and use the words that they said, disappointed and angry. And you've made that mean that I'm lazy or that I don't care and I don't love you. Is that correct? This is the part of feeling seen and heard. This is how the resolution will actually come about, people. This is the missing piece that most of you are out there doing. No ability to help the other person or yourself feel seen and heard. Repeat it back for them word for word what you heard. They're going to sit there and go, oh my God, he was listening, because I used those exact words. Okay, so that's what I'm hearing. So even if you don't agree with their story, you're just going to acknowledge that you heard them. So it's language like, thank you for telling me. I can see that that would be really painful for you. It makes sense that you felt this way. So validation is not agreement. It's honouring your partner's lived experience. Can you see the difference in that? So then, if it's called for, and if you're up to it, you can apologise without defensiveness. So it's not oh, I'm sorry. Like, fuck, if anyone apologises to me like that, I just want to throat punch them. In my head, I'm like, you can keep that. That was bullshit and it's worth nothing to me. Off you go. Absolutely not. But an apology of like, I'm really sorry that it landed for you like that. I'm really sorry that this has hurt you. I'm really sorry that you felt alone in that moment. I'm sorry that my actions impacted you like that. Can you see how you're taking ownership for what happened, but you're not actually being like, it was all my fault? There's two people playing this game. No one should be taking all of it. Both of you bring 100% to the relationship. So saying things like that, it shows your partner that you care about their experience. Even though it wasn't yours and you see it differently, you care more about their experience and more about them than you do about being right. And that's really important. That's what helps them feel seen and heard. So you're the listener. You've heard all this from your partner. You make sure that you say to them, so what did you make it mean? If they haven't already told you the story that they've made up along with it. I made it mean that you don't love me. I made it mean that you don't care about me. If you can get them to actually acknowledge that and say that, they're going to have some self-awareness and go, well, fuck yeah, I can see how that was a bit of a jump. Didn't mow the lawn, that means he doesn't love me. It's like you forgot about all the other times that he has done amazing things for you and loved you well. So they'll start to have their own self-awareness if you can have these really beautiful, open and settled conversations. So you get to say things like, thank you for sharing that. I can hear the meaning that you gave it. So as humans, nothing means anything until we give it a meaning. Fucking ponder that one in your next meditation. Nothing means anything until we give it the meaning. You choose that meaning. Whether you realize it or not, consciously or unconsciously, you choose the meaning of the experiences. What meaning are you going to give it? So it's at this point that the speaker, the one that came with the problem at the start, gets to acknowledge that they may have made up a story to go along with this, to go along with the feelings that they had, which has blown it up to even bigger in their head, and the feelings have got even more intense. So the speaker gets to recognize this and it gets to start to melt away. So then as the listener, you're then going to say, okay, what do you need right now, babe? What do you need right now? They might say, if they're really open and they're really vulnerable and you've got a beautiful person in front of you that's like, fuck, I just need a hug. I need words. I need reassurance. I need to know that you do love me because I am still running that story. Can you just say something that reminds me of how much you love me and how sweet you are? So if you're the person that's brought these emotions and this problem to the relationship, you better be bloody ready to be like, right, I may have added to this, and also I've worked myself up and I've got these feelings in my body and I'm pissed off and angry and I want to let that go. It's a bit hard because they're really present in my body right now. I need a hug. Like if you know that a hug and physical touch is going to melt your heart, ask for that. Don't be too proud. It might be things like, I need to hear that you care. I need to see that you care. I need some closeness this afternoon. Or it might be, I need some space. I'm one of those people. Dan and I might have an argument or a disagreement and logically it's been worked out. We've had this sort of conversation. I'm like, yeah, okay, I can see where that came from. I get it now. I can see the story that I made up. I know now that you love me. I know, like as in it's in my brain that you love me. My body has not caught up yet. Takes me about, depends on how close he stays to me because I want him close but not touching me. Women are we're very intense creatures. He needs to be close to me so that I can know that he still loves me, he hasn't ran away, not touching me because I'm still a bit angry. But I need about 20 minutes for the body to catch up on how the mind was feeling, for the emotions to leave my body to dissolve and to just like fizzle away. It takes about 20 minutes for me. Dan, done like that. Within 0.5 of a second, he's like, we're good, we're moving on. And I'm like, we are moving on. Yes, it's being resolved. And also I'm going to need a little minute to let my body catch up because the feelings of anger, my body is still holding the tension. My body's still holding the sadness on my heart. Even though you've said all the right things and done all the right things, I just need a little minute. So we have a practice in place now where he knows what I need. I've had to be vulnerable enough to ask for that. I've had to be like, I know that this is fucking whacked out. I've had to feel high maintenance in that and be like, this is what I actually need to come back to love right now. Although you're already there, please just know that this is how I have learnt to process things when I was a little girl. It takes me a little bit of time. So ask for what you want. Know yourself well enough to know this is what I need. I need you to stay in the same room. This is me. I need him to stay in the same room as me, not go away and think that I need space. Because if you go away and think that I need space, I've got lots of room to write new stories. Dangerous territory. Stay close. Smile. Just little tiny touches as I walk past. And I'll know when it's dissolved and I'm going to be craving a reuniting hug with you and I'll come to you. So he knows that process and he gives me that space now. It's really annoying for him. Don't get me wrong. I know it annoys the shit out of him because he's ready now. He's ready to come back to love and he's like, why can't you just be in love now? I need a little bit of time. So ask what you want, know yourself well enough. Okay, so you've asked your partner, what do you need right now? And they tell you, and you go, great. One of two options here. You can be like, I can give that to you. Or maybe what they're asking for, if they're asking for a hug, and maybe you're the one that's still got the anger in your body, you know, like, I can't do that right now, but this is what I can offer you. So whenever there is a moment of rejection or a no, make sure you follow it up with a counter offer. So I can't do that right now, but like, can we in 10 minutes? Can I come to you in 10 minutes? I just want to take a breather outside. I just want to reset. I'm going to come to you in love. Does that make sense? Okay, great. Now, this next step is optional. So you're going to need to read the room to know if this is appropriate for you to do this. So if you've had these moments with your partner, you've had this really great conversation by now, everyone's feeling seen and heard, you've come back with, I hear you, I see you, what do you need right now? They've shared exactly what they need for the resolution and the love to come back. Still tender territory, people. Depends on how big this thing is that they brought to you. Still could be very tender. Or maybe it was only a little thing and everyone's back, we're good. So this last step here, it is optional. You need to read the room. There is a moment where you may be able to say, if you've been the listener or the one that your partner brought you some big feelings, you get to be able to say to them, would it be okay if I shared with you how I experienced it? In those exact words. You're not going to say, look, the way that you saw it was fucking nuts and I'm going to tell you how it was for me because that wasn't right at all. No. Write this down. The exact words are, would you like to hear how I experienced it? And maybe they'll say, yeah, I would. Or maybe they'll be like, fuck no, I don't really give a shit. I'm still too angry right now. So just read the room on that one. Know that it is still tender territory. So if they say yes and you're able to share your experience and what was actually going on for you in that moment, what was really alive for you, what was involved with your mental space, your emotions, your stress levels, all of it, go tender. So like I said, tonality is really important. Body language is really important. Maybe do that while having an embrace, having her, like your hand just on a thigh or an arm, physical touch to keep them grounded and the softness still alive that you guys have just come back to. So speak calmly. You've only just come back to repair. Go really, really gentle with that. And just in that statement, keep reminding them that I can totally see how it was for you. Like acknowledging their experience still. Because it's only been a couple of minutes. So go very tender, very gently. So closing up the conversation would sound like, thank you for staying with me in this. Thank you for, like, it's an effort, guys. Like, this video has been going for 30 minutes to explain this to you all. These conversations may go for 30 minutes. It takes time and effort and energy to have these sort of conversations. So say thank you for staying with me. I feel more connected to you than ever. I love you. I love that we get the depth of this relationship because we care enough about each other to have these longer conversations about little things rather than the easier sweep it under the carpet of resentment. But that carpet festers and it's toxic and it leaks into your relationship. So to end it, it's always beautiful to end it with a hug, a kiss, some physical touch, whatever your love language is, I guess, to meet the other person in that. A couple of like core principles with this script that I want to share with you that we've gone over. I'm going to reiterate them for you. No one makes you feel anything. Emotions are owned, not outsourced in this process. Being seen, heard, and acknowledged is the medicine that your relationship has been looking for. Regulation of your own emotions and your own body comes before resolution. Make sure you regulate yourself before you try and get a resolution out of this. You're going to need to learn to hold. If now's not the time, then you wait. Presence heals more than any solutions. So if you're a man listening to this, you're going to want to fix everything. It's how you're built, caveman. You want to fix all your wife's problems. Sometimes she just wants to be heard in the problem. There's actually nothing that you have to do. Weird, I know. Such a weird concept for you men that want to fix everything. Love sounds like listening before explaining or justifying. I'm going to say that again. Love sounds like listening before the need to justify or explain yourself. Listen. Repeat back to them exactly what they said so that they feel seen and heard in what they're bringing up. The last thing I want to leave you with, this one gets on my goat. Never, ever, ever, not on your Nelly, not on any plane, in any realm, in any universal fucking timeline, do you ever piggyback on your partner's problem that they're bringing to you. Never, ever, ever do you say, well, actually, now we're talking about it, you did this last week and it really pissed me off. Chaos reigns supreme when you do this. Because you haven't even resolved the one thing that came up. Oh, let's layer some more on that, shall we? And then they might come back with another thing and another thing. And before you know it, you're 3 hours deep into a conversation that you can't even remember how it started or what the original problem was. But everyone is extremely heightened and there's fire burning between the two of you. And there is no way to fucking clear it out because you don't even know where it started to try and unpack it. That is what piggybacking on problems does. No new topic of conversation gets opened up until this one is resolved. This shit takes time, people. Remember I told you at the start, you only do this sort of thing with people that you really love and you want to keep in your life. People that you want the depth of connection and relationship with and intimacy with. If you want more intimacy, more physical touch, more sexual intimacy with your partner, create safety in conversations like this. They will feel more connected to you than ever. They will want to be that close to you. Especially if you're a man listening to this and there's a woman that you're dealing with in your partner. The unconscious level of safety that is built on the daily in little tiny moments like this is phenomenal for women. One solid move from a man where he makes you feel safe and seen and heard, my God, the amount of passion that we will have for you. It's a beautiful thing. So I hope that you've been taking notes. This is a pretty long video and it's worth it because this is something that gets to be practiced. You are not going to master this the first time you do it. I remember when I learnt this, sat down with Dan to practice it. Oh God, it was glitchy. And he's like, what are we doing here? What are we trying to do here? And I was like, I don't know either. We're just practicing. So take it easy. Go have compassion with yourself and know that you're learning. If you'd like help, reach out. I'm always here for it. I absolutely love coaching couples to the depth of intimacy and bringing the spark back into their life. Would love to help you do that as well. Lots more where this came from. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into more relationship stuff as the weeks go on my YouTube and Instagram because it's a huge passion of mine. It's where my relationship, my last previous relationship I was with for 18 years, was married, had 3 kids. It died because I didn't know all of this. I spent years and years doing research and studies and workshops and programs and coaching to learn all of this stuff so that I can be the best version of me in relationships so that it never dies again. And I'm deeply passionate about supporting other couples to bring that spark back in their life so that we can keep families together. Big love.